So, the Sableye got buffed this season as well as the Meloma, and today we're going to take a look at both of them together in this triple Shadow team in the Open Great League. We're going to have the Steelix Shadow, we have the Sableye, as well as Saysop mainly, and the Meloma in the back. This is going to be raw power, and we're going to have here a shiny version of Florges against us here in lead. That's going to be quite an interesting matchup. This is going to be very interesting because we don't really have the greatest answer in the back here, and we still have fast move damage on all of our Pokemon. That's going to add up against the opponent, but actually Florges is one of the worst Pokemon that you can kinda imagine here, in my opinion. But as you can see, we are going to be able to go up here now against the opponent. There's going to be the chilling water coming through, and we're going to try our best to go for the foul play in order to knock them out. But at this point, we are going to be quite a bit low in terms of our HP on two of our Pokemon, as well as debuffs on this Pokemon here as well. And so in comes the Corviknight. This is not as ideal, because I guess we're going to have like a Pokemon here in Steelix that still does super effective fast move damage, but they do super effective fast move damage against us as well. I'll let the move go, and it's going to be the Air Cutter. Not too threatening yet. I can go for the Crunch, and now I either knock them out, or I will get a shield from the opponent. Let's see what's going to be. It is going to be the knockout, and so it's only one Pokemon left, which is the Toucannon. And as we see, we got them already low, very low to be fair. And Meloma doesn't get the fast move through, which is kind of unfortunate, but generally speaking, we are going to be able to just let the shield up the drill pack, go for the full fountain against the opponent, swap out into the Sableye in order to catch the move. And catching this move is absolutely beautiful, because now I am going to be able to just go for the full fountain with our Shadow Meloma and win the battle. Next up, we're going to go up against Umbreon, a Pokemon that I really want to showcase as well. Still, Umbreon is going to be such a strong Pokemon now in this meta, because Umbreon is going to be a Pokemon that is going to be able to just do so much damage while taking so much damage as well. The foul play buff really helps Pokemon out, because what you have is now basically something that just does a lot of damage consistently. The foul play being now 40 energy is so amazing for this Pokemon, but for the team that we have here right now, it is not as ideal. We're going to have the Gaston coming in against us though. That is going to be actually very solid for me to face it here, as we are going to be able to go for the foul play, which got buffed this season, doing some solid amount of damage against the opponent's Gastro, and we can let the move go, as it's not worth it to shield this move up. All of our hope is now on the Sableye. Can we win the battle though with a Sableye? This is going to be interesting. We're going to decide to use a shield here against the opponent. Never mind, we're going to let the move go. It's going to be the Body Slam anyway, and it's going to be the Umbreon in the back. At this point, I don't really have anything to do up against the Umbreon here, so it's going to be a bit difficult. We still have at least Crunch, which is still resistant from the Steelix against the opponent. I just kind of want to try to get some damage onto them. I go for the wrong move here this time around, so yeah, at the end of the day, this is not really ideal whatsoever. We're going to be able to go for a shield though against them and try to do as much fast move pressure as possible. We don't know exactly on what they have in the back. It's going to be the Fearow, which is generally very bad for us, but we have a lot of fast move pressure, and this is kind of what I'm relying on. The opponent shields this move up, and I still need to try to get to another foul play in order to knock them out here, hopefully, as I reach this one in time. Thanks to the debuff, thanks to the boost this season onto foul play, this is going to be enough, and we can actually knock out the Umbreon in a very unlikely to win battle. Next opponent that we're going to have here the lead of a Doublade against us, where we have actually some solid answers in the back. I try to catch the move here onto my Sableye, it doesn't work, but we're going to get out the Azumarill, which is honestly not too bad, as our fast move is going to be neutral, our power gem is going to start adding up against the opponent, and we are not in a worse position ever. And we're going to get a lot of damage in here already, and I feel like at this point our Sableye already did its job. We want to get as much damage onto them as possible just with this Pokemon, but now I could even decide to use a shield and try to align myself, because we got all the damage on them already, and they go for the play rough. I feel like it's very likely that we can go for the full farm down, and with that we have no alignment as they go for the move with their Doublade. I decided to use a shield against the Gyro Ball, as now we can go for a foul play to threaten them even further. In comes the shield from the opponent. They're going to reveal their final Pokemon, being the Primeape. I go straight into my Meloma, forcing them basically to go for the close combat, otherwise they don't knock me. And now it's time for Sableye to shine. I hope this is going to work out, but as you will see, they're going to knock our Sableye out now as well. And the Rachis is coming through, going to do too much damage. We can go for the full farm down, knocking out the Primeape, and in comes again the Doublade. I go for the bait here first, because I hope that the opponent would use a shield here. They do use a shield. I still have to reach the Crunch in time here. They're going to go for the super effective Sacred Sword. Is this going to be enough? It is not, and so we can go for our Crunch against the opponent, which is going to be enough to knock them out, guaranteed. And yet again, our triple Shadow team is doing some solid work. But can we continue this trend? I'm not too sure about it. We have Ferret against us here right now. This is a interesting Pokemon. It's a Pokemon that don't think we're going to be too great up against, but let's find out on how things gonna go here. Trailblaze coming through, this is going to be fine. This is going to be generally the matchup that I kind of want to have this Pokemon in, and the crunch is going to get them low enough as well, to the point where I'm like, I could kind of just sacrifice my Steelix here and go into my Malamar. This would be kind of a very interesting idea, because now I am going to be able to go for the full farm run against the opponent, and we get some damage in against the opponent here as well. Let's see what's coming in next. It's going to be the Corviknight from the opponent. We can go for the superpower. This is absolutely fantastic, as now we get some damage in. We can swap out of here, but now it's going to be a Drapion against the back. And this is going to be tough, because I have nothing to really hit either of the opponent's Pokemon. Like here, Sableye is of course kind of neutral against the opponent's Corviknight, but against this thing here, against the Drapion, neither of my Pokemon really wants to go up against. And so that is going to be a bit of a tough one, as I decide to use a shield here, trying to also get the switch clock up. I can go for the Power Gem. I'm trying to force the final shield, so I put them into range for one superpower, and I do get the final shield, and I swap out straight away. Do I shield here or do I not shield? This is going to be an interesting question. This can decide the entire game. I gonna go for the shield against the opponent's crunch, and I go for the foul play against them instead of for the superpower. Foul play and superpower do a very similar amount of damage. Superpower does just a tiny bit extra damage, but as we see, this was the right decision to play it like this, because we get even extra energy against the opponent's Corviknight, which now allows us to outspeed them, go for the superpower, and take home yet another victory. Empoleon against an Elite is going to be interesting as well. They have super effective charge move coverage, but their fast move was resisted, and our fast move was super effective. And so in long-term gameplay here, we're going to be fine. But short term, they're going to be able to get definitely at least a shield advantage, but you're going to be forced to go for another charge move if I want to knock them out before they reach another charge move. And so, as we see here, we're going to get the KO, but we are one shield down, and they reveal their Gourgeist in the back. Gourgeist is such a strong Pokemon. This Pokemon is amazing in the current meta. It's a Pokemon that can deal against so many different kind of Pokemon, can deal quite well with them. And here we have the opponent going into their Altaria. I should have went for the foul play earlier, to be fair. I can let them move go now. There's no point of shielding. And now it's down to our Steelix to win this battle. The thing is here, Steelix is going to be still weak to Altaria, because Altaria nowadays learns Flamethrower, got added a few seasons back. And this is kind of like one of those prime examples on why this move got added onto Altaria, because previously against Steel-type Pokemon, Altaria has zero play of hitting them. Now with Fire-type coverage, this is going to look quite a bit differently. But here now against the opponent's Gourgeist, we're in a position where I kind of need to have to hope that the opponent goes for the bait, I feel like, in order for me to have a chance here. So I would need to no-shield this move, but I decided to use a shield anyway. Seed Bomb is coming through. They're going to knock me out now with the next move. If I no-shield, I'm not too sure if a Seed Bomb would have knocked me out still. It would have not. So that's actually, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because I went for 2 Seed Bombs in time anyway. So there was no difference here for me. I should have stopped out earlier. I hope it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, I think, because I think this is going to be enough to knock them out. And we should be able to take home another victory. Next up, let's see what we're going to have here. We're going to have the Empoleon against us. This is, again, what we just said, the same exact matchup. We're going to have to throw the swap out into the Ferret, which is interesting. We would have superpower on our Malamar, but at the end of the day, it is going to be a matchup here that is better like this as well. Like, we're going to be fine here. The Swift is not going to be really that threatening, and I just actually decided to swap out onto my Malamar. I can use a shield here, and I'm going to get out of here with a ton of energy, which is going to be fine. The Swift is coming through, and we can go for the full farm run against the opponent, which is going to allow us to knock them as they go into the Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz got buffed this season, and honestly, I would love to play the Vullaby, which is going to be also buffed this season with foul play. But Mandibuzz got buffed also with Shadow Ball, which makes it a very interesting Pokemon to run. The Superpower is coming through here again, and I could kind of keep my energy, which I decide to do here. And I swap out into my Steelix, which is going to be able to take that hit. We have here the crunch coming through, and this is going to be fine. This is going to allow us to get the shield from the opponent as they go for their own charge move. And for me, it is not worth it to use a shield here. The foul play is going to knock us out. But we have now the Sableye, which would have some pressure against the opponent, or with a fast move itself. I try to go for the full farm down, well knowing that they're still going to get to another move, but I kind of want to risk it, because I have the hard-hitting move space here on my Malamar for later on. I thought it would be the best idea to just try to utilize here the potential of getting the shield and then just knocking them out here with a superpower, and I think this was the right choice. Now, of course, there's still a Pokemon to deal with. We still have the Mandibuzz here, but it's only at 1 HP, so one move actually is enough to get to Sableye's next charge move, and with that, we're going to be able to win this battle here. So the next opponent is going to have the Walrein in the lead. This is going to be an interesting matchup because what we see here is that we have to go for the Crunch and not do something, but they go to the Credilli. This is interesting as well because I don't know really what to go into. I go into my Metamon because I have the immediate pressure with the potential of going for a superpower. But also, I'm a bit worried that they can farm me down. But because I have Bullet Seed, they don't have as much fast move pressure. And so I'm not that crazy worried about it at this point. I can go for the superpower here. I generally outspeed the opponent anyway. And they reveal their final Pokemon, which is going to be the Carbink, which is amazing. Because now I know that at least my Sableye is not going to go up against this Pokemon. I can align my Steelix here against them. And this is a beautiful, as I swap back into their Walrein, I can swap out straight away into my Sableye. And I decided to let the move go here. Because my main goal is kind of to keep everything for the Steelix, and I could have even kept this here, basically my shield for the Steelix again, but I decided to now use a shield here because at the end of the day I got some nice fast move damage in as well with the Sableye. I kind of reduced the amount of fast move damage that they can do with their Walrein against me, and we will see as well that they try to go for the full farm down, and with that they take down both of their shields as I sub out, they sub out. And if I get out of here just with a Psychic Fang stored, I win immediately. The opponent recognizes this and they decide to forfeit, knowing that this game was already over. But the next opponent is Seeking with Victory. Yeah, we're going to have Seeking with a great moveset of Peck, Ice-Rune, as well as Drill Run in the current meta. This Pokemon is going to be kind of tough to deal with, and so I shield up the move from the Seeking with my Steelix, and I'm still going to be forced to go for another charge move. I do think that Psychic Fangs in hindsight would have done enough damage, at least with also the... I mean, yeah, I guess with the extra fast move definitely would have done enough damage. Was kind of unnecessary to go for the Crunch here. I don't think this was the right choice. But in comes now the Gastrodon, and we are shield behind, and we are also now behind in terms of what the Pokemon can do. And here I make a big mistake. I thought that I would be able to outspeed them, but I did not outspeed them. They go for the Drill Peck. I'm luckily going to be able to still get to another charge move against the opponent. But this Power Gem is going to get shielded up from them here immediately, as we're going to try our best to go into our Steelix, go for the Crunch, but they still have Drill Run. Fearow is definitely an awkward Pokemon to deal with, as we see here. We are going to get the full farm done nearly. We decide to let this move go, of course, because we don't have shields anymore left anyway, and I have to swap out here straight away. Can Melamar still win this battle? I would need to get so much damage up against them that I doubt that I can win the battle, but let's find out on how much the opponent does. The Water Pulse is coming through. I'm forced to go basically straight for my superpower. This is the hardest hitting move that Melamar is going to be able to hit here, and it is not enough, as we would have needed like one more fast move from the Steelix to go for a Psychic Fangs in order to win this battle. There's going to be Naltaria next up. This is going to be fine, as we have here now the shield coming up from the Steelix. This is fine as well. The Flamethrower is coming through, and we can try our best to go for the Crunch against them. But again, the fast move is resisted, but it's also a one-turn move, which is going to add up at least 1 damage each time of usage. So like after a while, even against like double resisted matchups or whatever, still Dragon Breath is going to add up just because it is a one-turn fast move. In comes here the Scissor from the opponent, a Pokemon that is quite solid still even in today's meta. But as we'll see here, we're going to get the shield advantage, and I still have my Steelix. Steelix is actually one of the better answers to Scissor that is not a fire type, because Steelix can resist the Bullet Punch and doesn't really care too much about anything else, while doing neutral damage with both fast move as well as charge move, which kind of makes Steelix a very solid answer for the Scissor. But in this case, I think it's best for me to just let the move go and hope that I win with my singular last Pokemon. The opponent still has 3 Pokemon left, but I have a Melamar. Knocking out the first Pokemon here, the Scissor is going to go down. Let's see who's coming in next. It's going to be the Altaria, and they decided to go for the full farm, and it worked out immediately again. And now it's only 1 Pokemon left, the Stunfisk, which will go down to 2 charge moves from us here. First one's going... okay, maybe actually 3 charge moves. As the first one goes through, we are going to be forced to get up to 2 more moves total. And as we see the foul play connecting here, I know I need to get another move, which I can go for. The superpower is going to be easily enough to knock them out, and we can move on to the next opponent, where we will see the Pangoro. This is going to be basically impossible. Pangoro is like one of those biggest meta winners. Generally of the season. I made a video really before the season even started towards on how strong Pangoro is going to be, and in combination with Awakened Tough, I have very little hopes for this end matchup. But anyway, just generally speaking, this team was actually fantastic. You have with Steelix and Elite a Pokemon that can kind of counter the weaknesses that you have with your backline, while yeah, the backline is going to be kind of able to counter some of the weaknesses of Steelix, like for example a Fire type Pokemon which you're going to be able to resist with your Ghost types. But generally speaking, I like the Ghost type plus the Malamar, which is Psychic and Dark. Just generally, I like this team quite a bit. I think it's a very cool team around the foul play buff basically, with 2 Pokemon with Foul Play and 1 Pokemon with Crunch here. It was a lot of fun to run. I think it's a good team to run. I had a lot of great success with it. But Pangoro is basically impossible to win, I think. Like, there's not really a lot that I can say other than that this Pokemon is basically impossible to beat. As I will see here, there's going to be another charge move coming in. It's going to be the Night Slash. This time around, we let the move go, and you have to go up to 2 superpowers in order to have a chance of winning this battle. As we see here, we're going to shield up the move. I have to still get to 2 superpowers, but I don't even know what the last Pokemon is from the opponent, and so that's kind of impossible. Like, that is ridiculous. There is no way I can still win this battle. There is going to be the Gelatin on the back, and this is going to be it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.